Um, you know, we played very hard for the second night in a row. Again, imperfect at times, turnovers at times that were not ideal, but you know, to go into a game on the road and shoot 6 for 35 from 3 and still win, I think speaks to the tenacity of the team tonight. You know, obviously the Clippers pulled the plug at some point on some of their starters, but we've got a lot of young players on the court too, and winning sure beats losing.
So, I mean, before the game, we talked a little bit about how this could be a good opportunity to play against like a desperate team that really needed this, and then shortly before the game started, we didn't really need this one. Bad. How does that kind of change that opportunity for that lesson?
Well, I mean, yeah, you obviously don't get to feel it in the way that we discussed pregame, and so then it just, you move on to a different message, which is it's an opportunity for us to play a game, get better, compete, and go try to win. You know, nobody's made any excuses for us when we've lost. So you play who's on the floor, play as hard as you can. And, you know, obviously I think our team, you know, on the second night of a back-to-back, I was really proud of them. Again, these are guys that have not been playing a ton of heavy minutes this year, so the home road back-to-back is not something they were maybe used to feeling in terms of I've got to do that and play pretty heavy minutes. But I thought everybody that went in the game tonight really participated in the win.
Again, another good night for Kenneth. Nearly a triple-double. What do you like what you're seeing out of him?
He's just got savvy. I would say 90% of the plays, you know, whatever he does, whether it works or it doesn't, in my head, I'm usually thinking like, that made sense. Kenny just seems to make sense when he plays. Passes when he should pass, shoots when he should shoot. But I think, you know, him being a pressure release, taking the ball to the second side, he's very comfortable. He's a good ball handler. So he helps us really create an advantage. Obviously, the first half, he had a big first half for us, which was huge. But he's showing a lot of savvy out there on the court, especially on the offensive side.
How useful is it to have a big that can pass that well?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that, you know, I'm a huge fan of. We've had some bigs in the program that were really good passers, and it's just a different way to play. I'm not sure we'd want to play that way the entire game, but when you're built like we are, you want to have a variety of ways that you can attack on the offensive side. That's how I like to play. I think that's how our team likes to play. It's a way to try to utilize everybody's skill sets at different times, depending on what's happening in the game, who we're playing against, what the matchups are. So it's huge for us, so you don't really fall into a steady diet of doing too much of the same thing in a row. So yeah, it's definitely a luxury as a coach.
It's the 81st game of the season, and you over there just coaching hard, getting into guys, making sure that the standard is continuing to be set 81 games in. What is the message? You're on top of Bryce, you're yelling at Luka. Like, what's the message?
Yeah, I get paid to coach every game, and I really care about these guys getting better. And, you know, they're still in the beginning stages of their careers. I don't want to let off the gas at all in terms of the standard that I want them to be seeking for themselves and for our program. You know, there's things to be learned every night, and I want them to get used to setting that standard for themselves. You know, the hope is that they build the habits in a way that there's certain things that we get to a place where, like, I don't have to coach those things anymore. Those are just innate, and those are just what they do every single night. And so right now, our 3 rookies are probably the players that are most sick of me because I'm on them the entire game. but they all know that that comes from a place of care for them and for our program. Like, I want them all to get much better and play better and help us win and have great careers and make a bunch of money. And I want that for them, and this is my responsibility